Good evening. Welcome to Guitar Stuff Studio. How's everybody doing? We've got a ton of people in the chat. I will say hello to everybody in just a minute, but I'm not going to leave him hanging because he's kindly offered to come on the stream tonight and talk to us about the new Fender range. So without further ado, here's Joe. How's it going, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Jojo says, hi, Joe. Good to see you on the stream again, dude.
Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
So yeah, last week I did the first birthday stream. That was awesome. So many people showed up to say, happy birthday and everything, and it was a real blast. As usual, I got sidetracked and ended up talking about guitars and stuff for an hour. And one of the things that I was talking about was the new Fender Standard line. Um, and obviously Joe, as we know, he's been on the stream before. He's worked for Fender, works for Fender. He knows more about Fenders than anybody I actually know. So it's amazing to have you on the stream tonight, buddy. Really appreciate it.
It's my
So
pleasure,
yeah,
man.
any questions for Joe, drop them in the chat, and as I get to them, I'll bring them up and we'll get to them. Oh, hail Guitarist Guild, how's it going? Right, so the Fender Standard line. So my understanding of Fender is we've got the USA Fenders, we've
Hmm.
got the Japanese Fenders, and we've got the Mexican Fenders,
Right, love it.
and yeah, I'm a huge Mexican guy. I'm not going to say I'm a Mexican guy because that sounds wrong. But I love Mexican. My number one guitar is a Mexican. Fact, I've got it right here. Is a player Strat Deluxe
Right. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful guitar, man.
with
Yeah,
the
and the
gold
very
hardware and the Gilmore switch and everything. And that's my number one. And I've never played another Strat like it. So
right.
I'm a Mexican guy.
Well, I'll
But
tell you one thing,
go
real
on.
quick. One thing, they took the guy running the show in Mexico, and they actually brought him to the USA shop for quite a minute to try to straighten things up over there. That's a fact. You know what I mean? He had to come over here and be like, "Hey, dude, this is how we roll it over there." Because the Mexican Strats are just some of the best, if you ask me.
That's one of the things that I can't understand because do you know it's like I say I've held a guitar, I've played guitar, I love the guitar. I'm a huge fan of the Mexican tellies as well. I mean, if I buy another Telecaster, it's going to be a Mexican one, preferably round about 2000 2001. There was a real sweet spot there for me.
Right.
Um, but you see a lot of people on YouTube and stuff like dissing the Mexican stuff, and I just don't get it. Why do you think that is?
Probably a lot of people have a standard. Even there, they have a bit of a standard where you can't top Mexican. You know what I mean? American, excuse me.
Hmm.
They just think that it's the best. But I got my reasons to think it can have some improvements. I mean,
Drew, sorry,
I got
Drew was saying there, Joe, heard Fender send some guitars to Mexico to paint them and then back to California for assembly because hazmat laws in California are too harsh for the painting. Any truth in that?
if they send them to Mexico, it's probably because they have a painter, a specific painter they want to paint. They usually have it pretty tied down when it comes to paint because you got to think they're painting Fender, they're painting Jackson, they're painting Gretsch, so they have to have that tie. They are strict, but Fender's got the money to just, they needed more space. They just bought the warehouse next to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, Dave J's in the chat. How's it going, Jay? Another Mexican fan. So now, anyway, we've got the Fender Standard Series,
Right.
which is a more affordable, and
Uh-huh.
doing the bunny is a more affordable line of Fender guitars.
Right.
As you can see on my little background today, your first real Fender. Um, So, what do you think? I mean, before we go on, Joe, I don't want you to say anything that will get you in any trouble. I don't want you to get any shit for anything.
Right.
So,
No, and I'll say up front. I'll say right up like up front. Like the people, even the people that annoy me at that place are great people. You know what I mean? There's it's I love the way they still make Americans. I love all the Jacksons. All the custom shop dudes are cool. I'm really good friends with a lot of these people. I'm not saying anything to like knock anything, but I mean I'm gonna call out where quality's quality, and I'm cool with that. That'll be all right. You know what I mean?
right. So,
Vendors.
I mean, I kind of get why Fender have done this because I mean, if you want to buy a USA Strat, I mean, over here in the UK, I can't speak for America, but over here in the UK, we're looking maybe 1,400 pounds. Okay, if I want to buy a Mexican Fender, brand new, same guitar, maybe looking about £900.
Right.
Okay. So I was just checking on the Fender website before I came on here. We'll just stick with Strats for easiness. £500.
Mhm.
So I mean, we're looking. There's like a £400 price point difference between each one. So call it $500 basically with the exchange rates and everything.
Right.
Um, so I mean, I can get why Fender would do this because if you want to buy a real Fender, I mean, you're saving a lot of money straight away.
Right.
Um, do you think they've done this just to make Fenders more accessible for people, or do you think it's just a cunning marketing ploy?
To be honest, I'm gonna say it's more they just want a new it's a new line for them. You know what I mean? That's basically what it is. I mean, I'll lay it out. I'll lay out how it gets down. Like where your ultras are being made is literally the same spot where these are being made. You know what I mean? It's kind of a trippy process. So it's basically they're just running it down the same chute. You know what I mean? Like let's get another line out. Let's get a massive amount. Try to push them out and get them out the door. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, I mean, I've got to hold my hands up here and say I've not touched one of these Fender standard guitars.
Mm,
Um, I'm a Fender guy. I like Fenders.
right.
I'll rarely talk smack about them. Um, but it would be unfair of me to pass judgment on them. That's what I'm saying. Which is why I wanted to get somebody on the stream, that actually knows the score. Comparison, okay. I mean, compared to I don't know the Mexican, where would you say? So we'll say. I hate doing this because I hate pigeonholing stuff. We're going to say the
Mm,
Americans are a 10, okay, and we're going to
right.
say the Mexicans are an 8.
Right.
Where is the Fender Standard on that scale of the Andy scale of Fenders?
I'm gonna put it a little bit like underneath Mexican just because it's a brand new product. It's gonna have a couple kinks before it comes out. It's gonna take a while for it to become a common guitar. You know what I mean? And in time, they're gonna make little because they're constantly trying to make improvements. Unless it's like a '60s style Strat, they got that down. That's why they can sell so many of those. They know, they've been making them since the '60s. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna. But quality wise, I mean, you're looking at just some cheaper parts, but other than that, made on, I mean, CNC'd on this. The bodies are CNC'd on the same machines. Same with the necks. You know what I mean? The frets are put in the same way. It all comes down to whose table it lands on and how he's building it up.
I mean, Joe's made a good point here, and I mean, I've seen this as well in a couple of the videos. Talking about these, like a four-piece body. That I don't know. Four-piece seems a bit excessive.
Yeah, yeah. If you ask me, I think three's the limit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Four piece, yeah, that's pretty incredible.
But then, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, is it going to make that much difference? I mean, I know you start getting into we'll start tickling the balls of the PRS Tonewood fellas and everything, and sustain and stuff like that. But I mean, it's I mean, have you actually played one of these Fender standards?
I've messed around with one a little bit, you know what I mean? Just for a couple minutes, you know what I mean? Like I said, the quality is not bad. I mean, The build is not bad. Like I said, the quality all lays down to whose ever table it gets on. You know what I mean? Because the way it runs, they'll be like, you know what, you need 600 of these bad boys right now, which is kind of ridiculous. And you'll have a group of maybe 30, 40 people. They got to build them all. It comes to the end where there's only like four tune testers. So it's drizzling out, but they got a time crunch. You know what I mean? Tune testers are always great, those buddies of mine. You know what I mean? But when it comes to whoever's building, it's either just a job for that dude or he's trying to come up. He got like 15 minutes to put the whole thing together. You know what I mean? That's where it all lies in. So I can grab one and say, hey, this one's great. And then one can slip out and it's like, what's his buzz, dude? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose one of the good things about Fender is their customer service is pretty good.
Oh,
For any dealings I've had with Fender, in the past, anything I've had a problem with, they've just been send it back, dude. We'll just send you another one out. It's never, it's
right.
never an issue. And yeah, you hear some really, really, really shitty things about guitar makers. Kiesel for one. I don't know. Did you ever see the whole Jeff Kiesel thing a while ago?
Oh, no, no, I
Um,
don't.
Basically, a couple of people did videos about it, and some dude spent like 4 grand on a guitar. To his specs, and I mean that's what Kiesel do.
Right.
And he wanted it was like the burnt maple neck and everything. And basically, they sent him out like a completely different neck or something, and the guy wasn't happy with it, so he sent it back. Said, "Look, this isn't what I asked for." And
Right.
then Jeff Kiesel made a TikTok calling the guy a bitch.
Oh, all right. Oh, yeah. I bet you I would have done this. Right. Right.
I'll see if I'll send you a link to one of the videos. So Jeff Kiesel's there on TikTok or wherever, or Instagram, talking smack about this guy, who was a customer who paid him 4 grand. I mean, I just think that kind of thing's disgraceful for a guitar maker to, you know,
100%.
especially when you're throwing that much money at them. Joe says there the fretboards don't have rolled edges. Um, I don't
Um, right. Right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't think that's. I mean, for a lot of players, that wouldn't be such a big deal, especially guys with vintage guitars. A lot of the fretboards didn't have rolled edges. That was just the way they made the things. Right, just before I came on the stream, I was chatting to Joe because I'm a gracious host, and I
Right.
was saying one of the big things about this Fender line of guitars that has really, really, because I own Fenders. One of the things that I don't own is an Acoustasonic, and I have said, I've probably been saying since the start of this stream that I really want an Acoustasonic, but I know that £1,000, £1,200 is a lot of money to drop on a guitar that would probably be buying. I'd be buying for the novelty of it. I'm not an acoustic guy.
Right.
Um, but tell me what you were telling me about the Fender Standard Acoustasonics, Joe.
Oh, well, like what I was saying was because as you were asking about it, like that production line I was telling you about, like almost anything Fender American's coming through that. But Acoustasonics its own separate little location, and it's just about a privilege to work in there. So you got all the older cats that are just handling business, that have been handling business for a long time, and just it's its own department. So they have their own care, their own tune testers, and it's probably the most kickback place in the whole warehouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
So the
you,
quality, they take more time on the quality, basically. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, again, we've got the Acoustasonics, you've got the USA, you've got the Mexican, and you've got the Fender Standard one. Sorry, where are the Fender Standards made?
What do you mean?
Are they made in the US?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I don't know why I thought they were made in Indonesia or something.
No, we have, unless it's just a limited run, we have some, they're building some right there. So,
Ooh. Ooh. Joe says made in China. I don't know. You see, I don't think that's a bad thing because this is because I mean I've still got that Hello Kitty strap back there, and that's a Squire one made in China. And every time I pick that guitar up, I'm like, I can't believe that this is a Squire.
Well,
Um,
that's I mean, they're basically made from the same machines, just set up in China. The parts we make, as far as the bridges and everything, and we just like same with Mexico, same with everywhere. Like all your bridges, all like anything that needs to be CNC'd, it all gets sent out from America anyway. So it's made in China, but it's off of parts that we sent them. You know what I mean? Except for of course the necks and the bodies and all that and the pickups.
mm.
They have their own factory set up. But as far as the bridges and whatnot, that we send all that stuff.
Yeah, now I think what a lot of people, because like I said, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube. I mean, I'm obsessed with YouTube and watching guitar videos and stuff. Um, when the Fender Standard videos first started coming out, people were speaking very positively about them and going like, God, I can't believe it. I can get a Fender for 500 quid brand new. And it's but then people started pointing out things. I think they were just trying to spoil it for everybody. And they were saying stuff like, well, 500's a very similar price point now for some high end Squires.
Right, right. I was actually gonna say, I mean, there's especially some of the older ones. You can get your hands on a really nice Squire around the same price. I got no beef with Squire whatsoever. I love those guitars. You know what I mean?
No, I had Jojo Fry bought I can't remember, it was a 92, 93 Squire a few months ago.
Mhm.
She swears by that guitar. Um, I had a Squire Showmaster, um, and I'm so gutted I sold this guitar. It was the one with the skull on the top, and it had little skulls in the fret markers and everything with a reverse headstock, locking trem, a real Floyd Rose on it. And I mean that guitar was phenomenal. I mean, I don't think I've ever played a guitar as smooth as that.
Right.
Um, Squire. I mean, fair enough. Like you've got the Squire, but what's the really cheap one? Is it the Bullet?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's the one they sell in Costco with an amp for $100.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
um,
Well, I mean, a little thing about Squire that used to be a string company. It was just Squire strings, and that's where Fender used to buy their strings at. And then they started picking up on business, so they bought Squire, and they're like, "Look, we're going to turn this into a factory." You know what I mean? And next thing you know, they just started building the cheaper ones. So yeah, you can get. I mean, they've made some pretty good Squires. The Squires are pretty well built, if you ask me.
I tell you what, since I mean, I had no. Oh, Judy's in the chat. Hi, Judy. Hope you're not too snowed in today, mate. Um, yeah, I mean, when I saw the Hello Kitty Squire, um, I didn't even hesitate. I was just like, yeah, I'm having this. I think I got the last one in the UK as well, which I'm pretty stoked about.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
because I went on the website the next day, everything's sold out, and these things have doubled in price now on the secondhand market.
Oh yeah, it's just gonna keep happening too. I don't know if
Um,
they're still doing them anymore. I don't know if that run's done or what, but once that run's done, those things they're gonna be sought after.
Yeah, I think it was a limited run, but I mean, everybody's saying to me like, on Twitter, they're like, "Oh, put some better pickups." I'm like, the pickup in it is great.
Right,
Um, I don't even know what pickup it is. I think it's just a Fender Alnico or something, and
right,
it sounds phenomenal. I mean, I posted a little video of me genting on it
right,
in
right,
in, in drop B with a set of 11s on it, and it sounded amazing. I can't. Yeah, it's
right.
amazing.
Well,
So,
like I
go
was
on.
telling
Sorry.
you. Before, oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like I was telling you before, that the way they make their pickups, that whole system, Bill Lawrence helped them do that. You know what I mean? He was there forever. He helped set up the whole. Oh shoot!
Oh no, we've lost Joe. Joe's disappeared. He'll come back in a minute. I'm sure he'll do something. But yeah, Joe's just saying about Bill Lawrence actually worked on the pickups for the Fender guitars, and for those guitar nerds of you that know, the Bill Lawrence pickups are very famous. The ones in the Nuno Betancourt N series guitars are the Bill Lawrence ones, and also in the
What happened?
it's all right. He's back. And yeah, I was just explaining who Bill Lawrence is. I was just being a
Hmm.
guitar nerd about it. And the pickups that Dimebag used famously were Bill Lawrence pickups as well. So I mean,
Right.
that's a serious bit of pedigree to have. Um,
Yeah,
as a pickup maker.
right. Dude was that was his whole thing, and it was a trip. So I never met him, but my buddies were telling me that he's really Bill Lawrence isn't his real name. It's something German, and they said that dude just freaking walked around eating hot dogs all day, and he was kind of a dick, you know what I mean? But he had that system down, to the point where like everything Fender, that's who taught him how to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I paid. I don't know what the exchange rate is, but I mean, I paid brand new for that guitar. I think it was like £398. Um, it should have been 419, but I had a coupon.
Oh, there you go.
The first person, if I'm buying something expensive, I like voucher code. It's always worth trying. But yeah, I mean, I didn't hesitate, for drop that kind of
Right,
money. Even and everyone's like, "Oh no, you should get the Fender one." I'm like, why do I want the Fender one? It's a Hello Kitty guitar,
right.
but it
Some of the cool things I'll tell you, like one of the runs that I wish I could get, but they come by every so often, is when they'll do like a Jimmy Page like custom painted one. One of the custom shop guys will get in, make it crazy, or they did a what was it, a George Harrison one not too long ago.
the
That
Rocky one,
Hmm?
the George Harrison Rocky,
Oh yeah, yeah.
the '60s one, yeah.
Yep, and that, I mean, when those come through, it's like, dude, you just hold it for a minute, And then like one of the tune testers, when John Five started coming by, we were like, dude's a huge John Five fan. They were like to the point, all right, quit playing. Is it good or what? Dude sitting there in a freaking kill switch. I mean, when a run comes through, those are like some of. I mean, I have a Harley Benton that the run's over with, and I'm just so stoked to have it. And the price is already going up on that thing.
I don't know, but we'll come back to Harley Benton's in a minute because, yeah, because one of the things about this is I keep looking at this thing underneath us that says your first real Fender.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, obviously, Fender are a company and it's their job to make money, sell guitars and make money. That's their raison d'etre.
Right.
Um, do you think that they've done this kind of with the headstock snobs in mind a little bit? Because I mean, if I can buy a Fender if I can buy a Squire for the same money but a higher spec,
Right.
do you see what I mean? Do you think that
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know. I mean, my personal opinion. Like when it comes to all the freaking everything American, like the ultras, you know what I mean. I mean, just down the line, you know what I mean. Anything that comes out of this shop, it's like there's certain categories in my opinion, and it's like a lot of these are like that's just the money maker. That's just the bread and butter. Everyone's gonna want an American Ultra, whatever, whatever. That's all about the money. But when it comes to the custom shop guys, or the limited runs that really mean something with like somebody's name on it, like that's a whole different ball game. Like different people hit on that, so it's like a different passions being worked on when it comes to those. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they're the those like I said, certain categories with me, that's all it is. They're just pushing them out, and the quality is like, no, I'm not going to say bad, but I'm going to say like it's more of a production line than a passion line. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I mean, you could easily, swap something out. I mean, I would. I don't know, but yeah, yeah,
yeah,
they're
no, I know what you mean. Jojo says she's never had a real Fender in quotes, but the new Standard Series is appealing. Um, I don't know, Joe. Why is that? Is that just because of what you've seen online and other other people's um, other people's opinions and stuff. I mean, I've seen so many people trash talk Harley Benton online, and I mean, I own maybe 4 or 5 Harley Bentons now. I've never had a bad one.
Right. Oh yeah, same. All my experiences with Harley Benton have been freaking awesome. Man.
Yeah, what's going to happen with the Harley Bentons now? Because obviously, you guys are getting your tariffs and stuff brought in. Is that going to affect the price of them much?
That I have no idea. I mean, I hope not. And I know they do have a like a small shop on Reverb that has Harley Bentons here in America. You know what I mean? They just adjust for the shipping. You're basically paying the same as a brand new one that gets shipped over. So I don't know
Yeah.
if the price is going to go up or not. That's something for me to like. I mean, I haven't heard no whispers or anybody say nothing about anything like that yet.
Yeah. Rod's asked a good question there. I'll just wait for it to come up on my chat. There's a bit of a lag between here and YouTube. Um, is Harley Benton German? Yeah, they are. But Harley Benton have their guitars. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. Oh, Steve Cassidy's in the chat. Steve Cassidy will know. They do, Joe. They do make Harley Bentons in China, but they also make them in Korea. They make them in Indonesia as well, and they make them in Europe. Um, Obviously, the higher spec ones are made in. I think the highest spec ones, like the artist line and stuff, are made in Indonesia, from what I can gather. But again, Indonesia. I mean, that's a lot of people diss Indonesia, but I mean, the what's Ula England's guitars called? The Solas, they're made in Indonesia, aren't they?
I believe so. That I'm pretty sure. But I mean, one thing about what I've heard from like talking to the older cats, this was a dude that he used to paint at Washburn, and he was saying he did a couple of dimes with the that guy Chewy that painted down there in the Washburn custom shop, and he was telling me he goes the way it works over there, it's not like Fender has a shop or Washburn has a shop. The way it is over there, it's like they have a guitar making warehouse, and they'll just contract. Okay, give me the specs. I'll make your run. So you can get like an Indonesian like Washburn made with whatever different companies like almost on the same. You know what I mean? And I
That's
mean, and that goes all the way down to the knockoffs.
that's crazy because it does blow our mind. I mean, in the UK, we don't really have any big guitar makers as such, any big units that there is one. I can't remember the name of it, and it turned out that all the British guitars like Chapman's and stuff were all being made in this one factory, and it was crazy because basically I think there was a spell where every British made guitar was just all coming out of the same factory, and
Right, right,
they were just made by the same dudes, and
right,
it was just crazy. But I mean, obviously, you get brands like Kiesel and stuff, where they have their own. Um,
right. Little CNC setup and everything.
they're oh god, PRS obviously,
Mm,
but then they've got some. I mean, what's the lower? Is it the Silver Sky SE or something? That's the cheapest one.
mm.
I think
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
the Strat looking one.
right. Yeah, I'm not too knowledgeable on those ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not a PR. I don't think we've got any PRS guys in the chat.
I hardly
Um,
know any. That's the thing. I know a lot of Fender guys, some Jacksons. I know Washburn guys. I know Harley Benton dudes. But yeah, I've never ran into a dude that were like, "That's my guitar."
yeah, no, I've seen a few guys on Twitter, going, oh yeah, because I think I sparked an argument once when I was dissing the whole Tonewood myth,
Oh,
and no, I don't know. Where do you stand on Tonewood, man?
I think it's telling me personally, absolutely. I mean, a dude that like, cause I build these things in my spare time. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. If you want tone, better buy a good pickup, dude. You know what I mean? Or adjust that amp. I think the wood being anything. is kind of ridiculous. It's the tones right here, man. You know what I mean?
That's I mean I mean I sit the longer I play, the more I know that tone is in the fingers.
Mm.
Because I mean I mean what's the highest spec guitar you've got there
That I
that
have.
you yeah that you own?
Oh, geez, what would be the highest? Oh, well, I have some stuff in storage. Probably the I have an actual Jim Root Jazzmaster. You know,
Oh right,
yeah,
nice.
I have a Jackson, what we called Go Fast, or ended up being called that. I don't know if I can curse or not, but that fast is, fast as F series.
Yeah, no, you can curse on this stream.
Oh, right. Well, for some reason, Jackson decided at the shop we called it the Go Fast series, which they're actually that's where you're going to see these new Kellys, and it's that new American Jackson standard. When they did the first one, that I grabbed one of those, but those are more like, for some reason, they like, I have to put those up. Those are put away. I don't really, they're like my novelty guitars, I guess. I don't really I want to just keep them because they're gonna hang on the wall one day. Like I'm over here beating the crap out of you see my videos. I'm playing, anything that I have around me that I can like work on. You know what I mean?
No, I mean what the point I was gonna make. I mean, like your Jim Root guitar, right? That's an amazing guitar. I'm a huge Jim Root fan, like
Right.
massive. All hail Jim Root.
Right. Oh
And
yeah. He's not to respond to me when I hit him up every now and again. We talk more motorcycles and guitars though.
you have to get me a Jim Root signature, man. Just an autograph or something.
Like, dude, if I was ever so, like I said, I'm more of like, anytime I'm around any of those dudes, I'm more like the annoying, like the annoying little kid. I'm messing with all.
I think I mean I've met a lot of famous people. I think Jim Root is probably one of the dudes that I probably would be a bit dumbstruck around.
Right.
Um, but
Uh
the point I was trying to make is I know I could pick up your most expensive guitar,
huh.
plug it into my amp through my setup, and I would just sound like me. You know what
Oh,
I
they.
mean?
Oh,
That's
I'll tell you
this,
right now, like I have a whole bunch of Dimebag guitars. I mean, probably my crosses is my crosses and my bolts. Are some of like, they have this thing called a dime tax. So if it's a Dimebag guitar, they instantly want like 20 grand for it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. So I don't see it as my most value, best guitar. I just see it as the one that's most getting, they're price hiking it. You know what I mean? But I'll play a dime guitar all day, and I can never hit any one of his solos or riffs the way he does. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna happen.
seriously. I mean, I play in a very particular way. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just the way I play, and I can pick up my Harley Benton or I can pick up my Ibanez Gem, and I still sound the same on both guitars. The only
Right,
difference to me is how they feel.
right. Oh yeah, right. a
You know
hundred.
what I mean? And you know yourself, if you get a guitar and it's weighted just right and the neck feels amazing,
Yeah,
it plays like butter and you don't have to try. And I think that's the only difference. I think the whole tone wood thing is a clever market. I mean, fair enough. I think with acoustic guitars and stuff like that, it probably does make a difference. The wood that they use and how they treat it and
right,
everything.
right. Because
Because
that's what it's depending on making that sound. I get that. Yeah,
exactly, but the thing is, when we're playing when we're playing an electric guitar, I mean, there's so many things happening before that sound actually comes out of the speaker and we hear it that the wood
yeah.
isn't gonna. Um, I mean, I saw. Oh God, there was a guy. I think it was Six String TV.
Mm.
I don't know if you've seen him, and he was playing like this aluminium guitar, and it was like a skeleton that had
Oh,
just
I've seen
been
that. Yeah, I've seen that.
epoxied together and everything, and it
Right,
looked sick. He didn't rate the guitar though.
right. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that video. That was actually pretty cool.
I quite like the look of that guitar. I think I would rock that. We've got Rory in the chat. How's it going, Rory? They haven't made the guitar yet. That makes me sound good. I feel like that
Still
every
playing, yeah.
day. Joe says the only difference with the wood I can imagine is stability. So harder, denser wood's going to give you a guitar with better tuning. I don't know because I mean the amount of lacquer and paint and stuff that goes onto a guitar these days is ridiculous. I mean, it's like an inch thick now. Um, you
Right. I
know,
mean, the way I base it is like a lot of people thought like I got a bunch of dime guitars to try to sound like dime, but in honesty, it's just they're so comfortable to hold. That's one of my favorite guitars to hold is that ML shape, and I think the wood would a lot base is like maybe looks depending on how you're gonna do finish, but a lot has to do with the weight. You know what I mean?
mm,
What kind of weight you're gonna get. Like a 9 pound guitar for me is just perfect. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm usually gonna get with like a mahogany body, and so or versus I'm gonna get it a little more heavier with the cherry. You know what I mean? Which is I'm actually working on one right now.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a big dude. I'm like 6'3" and weigh considerably less than I did a month ago when I started my Ozempic jabs. By the way, thank you,
Oh,
Ozempic. This video
thank
is sponsored by Ozempic.
I'm actually
Um,
bigger using it.
but I mean, I'm quite a big guy, so like the size or weight of a guitar has never been. I mean, Les Pauls, they're a beast. They're a heavy guitar.
Right.
But then you get guitarists. Oh no, I'll never play a Les Paul. It's too heavy. I'm like, fuck, man, you'd be screwed if you were playing bass then, because I mean, basses are beasts, especially if you
Oh,
stood with
yeah.
one for a while.
Right.
But and I love Les Pauls, and I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think they're the coolest looking guitar. They just look amazing.
Yeah.
Um, but I just don't like the way they. I just don't like the necks on them. I mean, you put a Jackson neck on a Les Paul, I might be interested.
Right. I mean, you can get that split, that 3 and 3 headstock. You know that you could probably make that look pretty cool if you did that. Did the right neck.
Mm, don't tempt me. I think I might try because I've got my Hagstrom Super Suede. I would like another kind of Les Paul shaped guitar with a nice. And I can't remember who it was I was talking to. It might have been Steve Cassidy or Neil from the Pentatonic Wayne who was saying that the necks on the Harley Benton Les Pauls are quite thin.
I
So
was just gonna say that's what I'm looking into later on this year. I want to get a Les Paul style, but I'm looking at the Harley Benton ones. I just they're catching my eye.
yeah, I don't actually own a Les Paul style Harley Benton, so I think that might be on. I don't know. It's going to take every bit of my willpower not to finish this stream and go and buy an Acoustasonic for
Right, right.
500 quid. Because I mean, I've had my eye on them since they came out, but
Like I
it's
said, they're
just
cool. Every one of them I've heard. Like I messed around with a couple, but every one I heard, I mean, they all sound great, man. And like I
it's
said, there's even care going into those than any American standard you got running.
for me though, it's £1,000 or £1,200 is a lot of money for a guitar that would be a novelty and a want rather than something I would use on a daily
Right.
basis.
Well, I'll tell
Um,
you, Kirk Hammett has one just to keep in his limousine. I don't know if I told you that last time, but like yeah, like every now and again they got to send him another one, and it's just he keeps it around for wherever he's gonna be jamming. I guess dropping a deuce or taking a ride to McDonald's or whatever. You mean?
Playing Nothing Else Matters in the line.
Yeah, right, right.
I don't know. Yeah, it appeals to me as well because it's a nice thin neck on the Acoustasonic. It's pretty much a
Mhm.
Strat neck, isn't it?
Yeah, yep.
So yeah, it's definitely. But yeah, I'd like to see a poll in the chat. Yay or nay on the Fender Standard line. We never really talked about the Japanese Fenders, did we? I had a hybrid 2 series Telecaster.
Hmm.
I hated it.
Did you
I
really?
I hated it.
All right.
I just I like tellies, yeah. And like I said, my go tos, a Min telly, especially with the maple neck and maple fretboard. There's
Right.
just something about that guitar. It feels like you're playing a pillow. It's
Oh yeah.
great.
I want to get it.
Um,
They're made in Mexico, man. You know what I mean? Every time I try to, I'm like, "Are you ever gonna run one here in the U.S.?" They're like, "No, that's Mexico's deal." I'm like, "Damn."
but I got, like I say, I got I got the Telecaster Hybrid 2 from Japan.
Uh,
Um, and I took it to a band practice. And at the time, I was playing in a Status Quo tribute band, believe it or not. So this was perfect.
right.
Um, it sounded garbage. I mean, that was
Oh,
going through a JCM 800 as well. It just sounded like trash. The following
right.
week, I took my Mim Strat.
Hmm.
Perfect, sounded amazing.
Right.
But the pickups were feeding back on the other one, and I don't know what it was. It was just it was just one of those things. So yeah, effects pedals. What did you say you usually use? What do you make the Joe sound with?
Oh, me, I mean, personally, well, oh, check this out. I got this. It's all cheap. You know what I mean? It's like I use the EX Inferno distortion pedal, $40 on Amazon, and it just hits like any distortion you want. This is running out of a Randall RG80. You know, as like every now and again, I'll put a sonic maximizer through the loop. You know, depending on how deep I want to get. You know, like so, just more options to play with, or I'll put a metal zone just to get a little bit of boost. And funny thing is, every now and again, I'll put a metal zone in the front too, if I want to switch to a uglier distortion. But usually it's that EX Inferno. It's the Randall RG80. I got $6 quartz pedal. I'm just loving right now for some reason. And then my tri-bass wall, that like the wall at a certain amount. You know what I mean? That's just
I,
about it.
I don't know what happened, Joe. You dropped out a little bit there at the last bit. Um,
Oh shit! Sorry about that.
oh, it's
It,
it's all right, man. It's okay. You're back with us now. I've
I don't know
actually
what's
got
going on. Huh? What's that? Sorry, dude.
now you're even louder. I've actually got an EHX metal morph on the way to try.
Oh,
I saw Ola England try one. I was like, I actually really like the sound of this, and I'm a big
right.
electro harmonics guy, so that's on the way. But this thing, right? This here, this is a Moore PE 100. Look the size of this,
Oh, wow.
right?
That's pretty cool.
It's the same size. In fact, it's probably smaller than my telephone,
That's pretty cool, man.
right?
How's
This
that
has
thing?
got it's. It, I think this costs like £50 brand new. It
Mhm.
takes it takes two AAA batteries, right?
Oh, wow.
It's got 99 built-in sounds already. It's got
Oh,
99 presets where you can make your own sounds.
no way.
It's got 40 drum patterns. So it's a drum machine as well. It's got 40. It's tap tempo. It's got
Oh,
10
that's
different
cool.
metronomes.
Wow. Does it loop? You can loop on it?
No, it hasn't got a looper, unfortunately. It's not a pedal. It's basically just something that you sit on. I mean, it's made of plastic. It's touch screen.
Oh,
It's.
wow. That's pretty cool, man.
I got this
99.
off 51 pounds off Toman.
Oh,
Um,
that's pretty
I
cool.
got this off eBay for £10 with the box and the instructions. It's brand new, and I love this. I haven't stopped playing with it. It's got a sound on it called Cock Rock. How cool is that?
No way. What is it like? Air supply, just air supply
Yeah.
distortion.
It's got the summer of '69 tone.
Oh,
It's got a Green Day tone, which is like the rotary from that Green Day song, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. But it's got all
oh,
these built-in sounds of like other bands and stuff. It's brilliant. It's got a Clash sound and a Sex Pistols sound, and
that's
it,
pretty
it
cool, man.
it's amazing. I'm gonna do a demo on it because I've like I said, I just bought it. It was one of those stupid things. I'll bid on it. If I win it, then fine. If I don't, I'm not going to cry. And it
Right.
showed up, and I plugged it in. I haven't stopped playing with it. It's so much fun.
That's
Um,
pretty cool, man. Hey,
but
like I
that,
had.
yeah,
Oh, go ahead. I
go
was
on.
just gonna say I had the similar experience with that little chorus pedal that was $11 on Amazon, dude. Thing was pretty. It's pretty fun. I'm fun with it. But that's the deal right there. 99 effects.
It's amazing. Just wait till I drop the video on it. It's everybody will want one. Um, yeah, I don't think I've had. I love it when I get a bit of gear and it makes me smile. That's
Same,
you
man.
know Rory, it's called the Moore PE 100. Like it's it's tiny. It's got an in and out. It's got a microphone and an aux in, so you can play your Bluetooth through it. But it runs off a 9 volt adapter as well, just any pedal adapter, and you're good to go. The batteries don't last long, but yeah, it's so much fun. Have you seen the Marshall pedals that they've just brought out, Joe?
Yes, and I want to try one so bad. I mean, that to me that seems freaking awesome to throw a whole pedal. You know what I mean? I didn't think they were gonna roll out with that. I heard about that a little bit before they came out, though.
Yeah, I mean, NUX have had one out for a little while called a Plexi
Uh,
Drive, I think it's called, and that's pretty close.
right.
Have you got a Marshall?
Not anymore. I don't even
Now,
remember which one.
I've got one. The brilliant. I think.
Right. Oh yeah, they
Oh,
the one.
there's mine, just behind me there. Um,
Oh, that's
God,
awesome.
I love Marshalls. Um,
The one I had was just like I forgot what it was, a little practice amp. I mean, sounded gold. It was freaking awesome. You know what I mean? But
even
they're
the 10 watt, even the 10 watt little Marshall practice amps sound brilliant.
right.
Marshalls have got a sound of their own. I mean, listen, right? I'm as much into modeling amps and stuff as everybody else. I just love all amps. There's not really any bad amps. In fact, if I get an amp and somebody says it sucks, I will take it as a personal challenge to try and get that amp to sound good. Some
Really,
just sound good straight away. Like orange, I'm an orange guy. I love orange amps. I
I
just
want one.
love that 70s warmth that you get from orange amps.
Right.
Um, but yeah, these Marshall pedals. I mean, obviously the YouTube shills have been they've been sent their free Marshall pedals and they're all making their videos on them. I've actually made a video about this because I found it fucking hilarious. Do you ever watch the Andertons channel on YouTube?
Oh no, I ain't seen it.
It's basically Andertons is the equivalent of Guitar Center, but they've only got one shop, but it's a big ass shop. They're a big retailer in the UK because we don't really have any chains. Have we got any Andertons fans in the chat tonight? So Andertons basically, I mean, I've watched some of their videos and bought the stuff straight away from their website when the video's finished because I'm like, they've done such a good job of demoing it.
Right.
And I was watching the Marshall pedal one the other night, and I was like, this can't be real, because they were demoing the Marshall pedal,
Uh-huh.
but they were demoing it through a dual super lathe and a
Huh.
Marshall cab, and I'm like, well, if this pedal doesn't sound like a Marshall, there's something fucking wrong here because it's
Oh wow.
going through a Marshall.
Right, right. Just killing it right there. They should have threw up a Randall or something.
Well, not even that. I mean, if I mean, look, I know not everybody can have a stack in their house. You know, they're big, they're heavy, they take
Right.
even a half stack takes up a lot of room, and they're expensive. And I'm thinking the Marshall pedal is going to be for guys that don't have Marshalls, right?
Someone
That,
sitting with like a Line 6 practice amp or something, little spider wanted
well,
it.
that's the holy grail. If you can get a Line 6 Spider to sound like a Marshall with that pedal, then
Right,
that's the demo I want to see on YouTube.
right, right. That's ridiculous. I didn't
No,
know they
don't
did that.
plug it into a fucking plexi. And in fact, just a minute. Oh no, I haven't got it on this computer. Sorry. I had to put it on another one. I've got pictures of them with all the pedals plugged into a fucking Marshall super dual lead. Hey, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
Um, so, hey, I'm not trash talking Line 6, Joe. I've had a Line 6 in the past.
I still
And
got a spider sitting over in the in my room, dude. You know what I mean?
is it just permanently on insane?
Oh yeah, dude. It's I don't think the other. Actually, I don't think if you try to throw it on anything else, it'll make a sound. It has to stay on its.
You've got it well trained. Boom Slayer says thinks Gear for Music is a better store than Anderson's. I don't know, because this is one of the things I'm thinking about doing a video about this because it was actually Dave, not Dave, Steve. Hey, about I'm losing my mind here. Where have you gone? He's in the chat a minute ago. Yeah, he's talking about bricks. And, that's it. Steve Cassidy said he did a video. Sorry, he did a poll on YouTube the other day. He put a post up about one of his favorite music stores. His bricks and mortar music store is closing down. Um, sign of the times and all the rest of it. And Steve himself said he's as guilty as anybody else for buying online and all the rest of it. Um, I was thinking, like, when you go into I don't know what it's like in the US, but I mean, if you go into a music store in the UK, usually it's Gibsons, Fenders, um,
Right.
it's Gibsons, Fenders, Jacksons, Ibanez, Gretsch, and then all your amps are Marshall, Orange, and and so on. And a
Right.
lot of the brick and mortar shops don't actually sell like a lot of the cheaper guitars like Jets or Harley Bentons or stuff like that. And I'm just wondering if maybe, they're missing a trick by not selling some of the cheaper brands. I don't know. What do you think?
I think they are. I mean, personally, because like I said, I have some high end Jackson and Fender, and I'm afraid to make a bump on any of them. It's if I'm gonna like I relic my own guitars by accidentally smashing them into the wall. A lot of people want to just a daily driver. It's gear up a good cheaper guitar. That's what I do. Either that or I have ones I've been playing since I was like 16, so they stay with me. And there's a lot of these guys that either want to do that or some parents that are like, look, I'm gonna have to walk out of here spending 400 or 500 bucks versus there's a Harley, you know what I'm saying? There's Harley Benton for like 100 something, 200, you know what I mean? I think they're missing out big time.
Yeah, I mean, because as well, it's like, I mean, I know I know the argument that if you get somebody a shit instrument to start with, that they've got the potential that they won't carry on with the instrument because it's so difficult to play. It won't stay in tune. It won't sound good or anything. I totally get that. But with these, I'm going to call them budget guitars, and I hate calling them budget guitars. Like Harley Bentons and Jets and stuff. I mean, I I I, I've, oh, I don't know how many I've got over there. I've got some over there, and I
Right.
mean they're great. And I think if like a few more of the music shops had like Jet and Harley Benton stuff, where people could walk out with a quality instrument for £150, I think it would help save some of these bricks and mortar shops rather than relying on Schecters and Ibanez's and Jacksons to go out the door every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, back in the day too, like my first guitar was a Harmony. We had bad guitars,
Hmm.
that, but the quality between that and the way they're making them today is just night and day difference. $150 guitar back then, like had nowhere near the quality that it has today, in
Well,
my
that's it. These days, like you said, everything's CNC. Everything's like it's got tolerances and computers and all the rest of it. And
it's a it's a G code that's just going to do the same exact thing over and over. So you're going to get that same exact body
yeah,
shape,
and
that
I
same
mean,
exact.
they're cheaper guitars, and 95 out of 100 that come off that production line are going to be great.
Mhm.
There's always going to be, the odd duffer, but I mean, you get that with anything. Um, did I pick up the Rockman pedal? No. Have you seen this Rockman pedal that's been reissued, the MXR Rockman?
No, not yet.
Basically, if you think the guitar sound from Hysteria, the Def Leppard album,
Uh,
or anything
yeah,
by Journey, this
right.
pedal will do it. Okay,
Oh,
that's it. Does it only does one fucking thing. It's a complete
but it
one
does.
trick pony, but it does it really good, right?
Oh, that's cool. Who
They've
doesn't like it?
re-released this MXR Rockman. I can't remember. It's MXR Rockman something something. Um, and I saw a couple of videos on YouTube, and I was like, I'm gonna have to get one just because. Um, so I went to buy one, and the first thing that kicked me in the dick was the price. £240 for a pedal that only does one thing.
Right. I've bought too many $40 pedals on Amazon to like. I got to be real picky to spend that kind of money on a pedal.
Right. So Yeah, Joe, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm a big fan of Def Leppard, so I thought it might be fun to play Animal. But then I mean, obviously the £240 price tag, but then um, nowhere had them in stock. That like they've
Mm,
sold out straight. They sold out like that. They're probably just giving them to fucking YouTubers to make videos with because they're the only people that seem to have them. This is why I
yeah,
need to build my channel up so I can get some better fucking gear. Um, so
right.
yeah, so today I was messing about. There's another pedal that will do the same, and you can pick them up quite cheap. Well, not cheap, but for £100. Is the Boss MZ2, the digital metalizer? Have you seen that one?
No, not
Right,
yet.
it's cut from the same cloth as the Metal Zone,
Oh, no way.
um, but it's
That's my.
basically a metal zone, basically a stereo metal zone with a built-in chorus.
Oh, no way. Oh,
Have a
I'm.
look when we get off the Boss MZ2 digital metalizer. It's an amazing pedal. It's an astounding pedal. That kind of does the same thing.
Oh,
But I also found out that today a Boss DS1 with a EHS Electric Mistress sat behind it does exactly the same thing. So I might not be buying a Rockman after all because I got the sound that I was after today just by playing about with the shit that I had. So
all right.
um, have you got any gear purchases lined up? Is there anything that you fancy that you're going to be getting this year?
Hopefully, I'm kind of like I haven't bought like a lot of gear, a lot of any, except for that $11 chorus pedal, which was kind of cool because I mean I've been saving for a minute, and hopefully it's this year. I'm trying to get that Dean Zelinsky freaking culprit that they're making, that dime bag culprit, because that
Oof.
thing looks freaking amazing. I don't know if you've seen that. It was running around in Nam.
I have. I've also been looking at that new Zach Wild Berserker.
Oh yeah, that thing looks freaking amazing.
Oh, it's got runes on the fretboard, man.
Right, right. Oh, that thing is just a
It's got,
beast. One of those bad.
it's got runes and skulls. I'm like, this kind of appeals to the Viking in me. So I don't know, but I don't think I'll be dropping £2 on a Zach Wild guitar. Hi, Justin. How's it going? Justin's in the chat there. Yeah, I don't know. I think my next guitar purchase is potentially going to be an Acoustasonic, and if it sucks, you're on the hook for it, brother. I
Hey,
mean,
hey,
like Joe said, buy this, and I'll make a whole YouTube video about you, and like 300 people will see it. You'll never be
I,
able to show your face online again.
you'll dig it, man. I'm telling you, I haven't seen any complaint or any type of like any like. There's been runs where they're like, you need to stop the whole thing because this thing's just built not good. You know what I mean? And that happens. It's just like sometimes the like a new guy's on a CNC and he just hits it wrong. Because it's basically like I said, the same G code running, but you can always load the wrong thing. They've got hundreds of G codes for different kinds of necks. Something doesn't fit right, but Acoustasonics, those dudes are kicking back and they're just hitting it. That's their whole concentration.
I imagine them all sitting there just smoking big fat cigars and drinking bourbon all day and talking about the good old days and shit.
I
Um,
wouldn't exactly say cigars, man, but yeah, you're right.
I tell you what, I am going to do though. I'm going to keep an eye on the Fender Standard line, and if I do see one come up second hand,
Right.
um, I think I will buy one just a Strat as a comparison to what I've already got and see how it goes. Right, well, I'm gonna excuse me. I can't speak now. I'm gonna wrap things up, dude. So listen, thank you so much for coming on. Um,
Hey, anytime, dude. I love hanging out. Anytime you have me, man.
it's a pleasure. It always goes so fast as well. Huge shout
Right.
out again to everybody in the chat, guys. Like I say, 150 people have showed up and watched tonight, so that's amazing. You can follow me and Joe on Twitter, X, and the YouTube because that's what we do. So until next time, thanks everybody for watching. Take it easy and peace out.